This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 19. Never take revenge, my friends, but instead let Yahweh's anger do it. For the scripture says, I will take revenge, I will repay, says Yahweh. I like to give all praises and glory to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. I like to give all praises and glory and honor to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the men of GMS who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is Brother Boaz on the set once again. Yahweh, Yahweh Shai is going to take revenge. We're not going to do nothing until Yahweh Shai gets here, okay? The two-thirds are going to be destroyed, and the so-called white man's going to get annihilated when Yahweh Shai gets here, okay? Our job is to keep posture and to keep our integrity and to keep calling upon his divine and holy name. That's our job, okay? We're not going to do nothing, okay? Because just imagine if we take revenge now, we get annihilated. Okay, other groups try to take revenge, like the Black Party movement. Okay, even Yahweh ben Yahweh, when he was up and running, he tried to take revenge. They took him and threw him in prison. Okay, he died. Okay, we're not going to do nothing. We have to wait upon Yahweh Yahweh Shai to take this man down and take this man out of power, okay? That's when the so-called white man's going to get annihilated when Yahweh Shai gets here. Our job is to keep calling upon his holy and divine name. That's our main job. The book of Acts, chapter 4, verse 8. Peter, full of the Holy Spirit, answered them, leaders of the people and elders, if we are being questioned today about the deeds done unto the lame man and how he was healed, then you should all know, and all the people of Israel should know that this man stands before you completely well through the power of the name of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, the Nazarene, whom you crucified, and whom Yahweh raised from the dead. Yahweh Shai is the one whom the scripture says, the stone that the builders despised and turned out to be the most important of them all. Salvation is to be found through him alone. In all the world, there is no one else whom Yahweh has given who can be saved. So there's no one else, okay? It's all about Yahweh Shai, okay? He is the rising and fall of many in Israel, okay? Let's get it. He is a rising and falling of many in Israel. It's all about Yahweh Shai. The book of Luke, chapter 2, verse 34. Simon blessed them and said unto Mary, his mother, this child is chosen by Yahweh for the destruction and the salvation of many in Israel. He will be a sign from Yahweh, which many people will speak against. And so the revealers, the secrets, thoughts, and sorrows like a sharp sword will break through your own heart, okay? Yahweh Shai is for the salvation and the destruction of many in Israel, okay? It starts with Yahweh Shai, okay? Without Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, without the Christ, you won't make it out with your life, okay? You have to wait on Yahweh Shai. He will repay, though, okay? The so-called white man, okay? The white man has not escaped judgment, okay? When he touched the apple of Yahweh Shai's eye, He messed up, okay? The so-called white man didn't think things through, okay? He took things too far, okay? Yahushua was angry with us, okay? He took things too far. Let's get it. Turn to the book of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah, chapter 47, we'll start at verse 1. Yahweh says, Babylon, come down from your throne, sit in the dust of the ground. You were once like a virgin, a city unconquered, but you are soft and delicate no longer. You are a slave. You are now a slave, okay? The so-called white man is going to get put straight into slavery when this thing goes down, okay? I would not want to be in this man's shoes, okay? He's going to get put straight into slavery. Okay, the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 6. I was angry with my people. I treated them as no longer mine. I put them in your power, and you showed them no mercy. Okay, the so called white man didn't show us no mercy. Okay, last hire, first fire, the high unemployment rate. Okay, slavery. Okay, Jim Crow laws, even the age you treated harshly. You through you thought you would always sit a queen and did not take these things to heart. So the so-called white man, he believed that he would never be destroyed, okay? That's why America is going down now, okay? High gas prices, okay? World War III is on a rise, okay? America's not going to win this war, okay? The so-called white man's going down in World War III, okay? They're going to drop missiles. The Bible is going to is always the truth, okay? They're going to drop missiles on this man. They're going to drop missiles on him. You thought you would always be a queen, and you did not take these things to heart, or think how it will all would end. Okay, the so-called white man didn't think that this man that he was going to be put to death and destroyed. Okay, and put in and drugged right into slavery. Okay, but it's going to happen when Yahweh gets here. When Yahweh gets here, ooh wee, that's all I can say is ooh wee, okay? All the bullshit, forgive my language, all the bullshit comes to an end. Yahweh gonna destroy this man, put him into slavery, okay? And all the other nations are gonna go along with it. But all the other nations are gonna have a little mercy, okay? But not the so-called white man, okay? He's gonna be annihilated. Okay? That's what this is about. He's gonna get annihilated. Turn to the book of Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 3, verse 8. Just wait, Yahweh says, wait for the day when I rise up and to accuse the nations. I have made up my mind to gather the nations and kingdoms in order to let them feel the force of my anger. The whole earth will be destroyed by my fiery of my fury, okay? Thermonuclear destruction, okay? Thermonuclear destruction, okay? That's what's coming to this place, okay? And if you want to make it out with your life, and if you concerned with your life, okay, and if you want to make it, you have to call upon the names of Yahweh, Yahweh while you still can, okay? While the doors of mercy are still open, okay? That's how you're going to make it out with your life when this thing goes down. If not, you won't make it out with your life then. It's impossible. Okay? You won't make it out with your life when this thing goes down. Okay? It's like the 2/3. They won't, they're not going to make it. Okay? They're going to be annihilated. That's why you have to come back to Yahweh Shai while you still can. The book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 21. If your enemies are hungry, feed them. If they are thirsty, give them a drink. For when you will make them burn with shame, and Yahweh will reward you. Okay, so Yahweh Shai is going to reward you. Okay, vengeance is of Yahweh Shai. Okay, He is going to be the one to repay. Okay, He is the one that's going to destroy this devil. Okay, He's going to crush Satan underneath our feet. Okay, the so-called white man's going to go down. The book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 29. Don't say, I'll do to them just what they did to me. I will get even with them. Okay? You have to wait for Yahweh Shai, okay? When he gets here. The book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 22. Don't take it on yourself to pay back a wrong. Trust Yahweh and he will make it right. Okay, so you have to trust Yahweh. Okay, prepare your when you come to serve Yahweh, prepare your soul for temptation. When you come and serve Yahweh, prepare your soul for temptation. The book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation. Okay, you're going to go through a lot of tribulations and you're going to go through a lot of setbacks. Okay, remember it's all reincarnated. That's the beautiful thing about it. You're going to get your vengeance, okay, on the so-called white man, but you got to be patient. Okay, you're going to get your revenge, okay, but you got to be patient. You can't take things among yourself. That was already tried, okay? The Black Panther Party movement, like I said before, once again, okay? The Nation of Islam, okay? You had even the Nation of Yahweh, okay? Now, I came through the Nation of Yahweh, okay? Before I came into GMS, I came through the Nation of Yahweh. Yahweh ben Yahweh, they took him and they threw him in prison and he died of prostate cancer, okay? You can't fight this man, okay? We have to wait and be patient and wait upon the Lord. Wait upon Yahweh Shai to come and destroy this man, okay? And put him in the shackles, okay? Be ye angry, but sin not. Okay, we'll get the scriptures. My son, if thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thou heart upright and constantly endure, and make no haste in a time of trouble. Cling unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take it cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in a furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thou ways upright and trust in him. Okay, so you have to trust in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay, you have to fully trust Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Okay. You have to fully trust Yahweh Yahushai. That's what this is all about, okay? You have to fully put your trust into him. Okay, one moment. Okay, that's what this is about. The book of Ephesians. The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 26. If you become angry, do not let your anger lead you into sin, and do not stay angry all day. Don't give the devil a chance. So if you be angry, don't stay angry all day, okay? Yahweh Yahushua is going to be the one to destroy this man and put this man into slavery, okay? It's coming, okay? He that lives by the sword will die by the sword. He that leadeth into captivity will go into captivity, okay? So you have to be patient for Yahweh Shai to do what he has promised, okay? This man's going to go into slavery, okay? He's going to be destroyed, okay? You have to be patient. Okay, America's not going to win this war. Okay, America's going to be destroyed. Let's get it. The book of Yoel, chapter 3, verse 12. The nations must get ready and come to the valley of judgment. There I, Yahweh, will sit to judge all the nations, all the surrounding nations. So he's going to judge all the nations, okay? When World War III gets here, that's when these nations are going to fall out of power, okay, and get put into slavery, okay? That's when Yahushua is going to get here, okay? And you see it in the war percolate, okay? Gas prices are high, okay? The dollar's falling, okay? This man's going to go to war and he will once again go for his RFID chip, okay? The one thing you can do, you have to pray to Yahushai that you don't take that mark of the beast, okay? Because if you take that mark of the beast, that is your ass, okay? Your ass is grass, okay? If you take that mark of the beast, you sitting here in America, you're going to go and try to save your life, you're going to lose your life, okay? You're going to get cooked, you're going to be cooked to a nuclear crisp, okay? That's what this is about. You're gonna the missiles are gonna annihilate you, okay? Like Yahweh Shai said, won't be no survivors, okay? The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 14. Thousands and thousands are in the valley of judgment. It is there that the day of Yahweh will come soon. Okay, the day of Yahweh is going to come soon. That's the day where the white man falls out of power, okay, in rulership, okay, and the elect takes the kingdom. That's what this is about, okay? The only thing left is for you to call upon the holy and divine name of Yahweh Yahushai so you can make it out with your life when this thing goes down, okay? Without those names, you will not make it out with your life when this thing goes down, okay? You won't make it, okay? You're going to have to be rebirthed and come back to reincarnation, okay? After 1,000 years. The sun and the moon grow dark, and the stars no longer shine. Yahweh roars from Mount Zion, his voice thunders from Jerusalem. The earth and the sky tremble, but he will defend his people, okay? Verse 19. Edom will become a desert. Egypt will become a desert. Edom, a ruined wasteland. America's going to be destroyed, okay? The so called white man is going to be destroyed, okay? He's going to get eradicated, okay? These so called white people. They're going to be eradicated. That's why you have to come back into who you are now, okay? Don't cling to this devil, okay? He's going to get eradicated. And not just him, the 2/3 that cling unto this man, okay, that don't want to give this man system up, okay? They're going to be destroyed, annihilated too, okay? They're going to get annihilated. And Edom, a ruin, because they attacked Judah and killed its innocent people. Verse 21, I will avenge. Okay, so once again, Yahushua is going to take vengeance. Okay, it's going to be Yahushua that's going to take the vengeance. Those who were killed, I will not spare the guilty, but Judah and Jerusalem will be inhabited forever. And Yahweh, will live on Mount Zion. So Yahweh Shah is going to live among his people, okay, when he gets here, okay? Yahweh Shah is going to be living in Israel, okay, when he gets here, okay? Don't let yourself be killed with this man when this thing goes down, okay? This man, he messed up on this one. He didn't think things through, okay? Yahweh Shah is going to come back, okay, in a giant UFO, okay, and wheels inside wheels, okay, with angry black men coming to destroy this place, okay? That's what this is about. Okay, one moment. The book of Zechariah, chapter 14, verse 3. Then Yahweh will go out and fight against those nations as he fought against them in times past. At that time, he will stand on Mountain Olives to the east of Jerusalem. Then the Mount of Olives will be split into two. That's that giant UFO. Okay, it's going to split the mountain into two. Okay, and the large valley, half of the mountain will move northward and the half of it southwards. Okay, you will escape through the valley that divides the mountains in the two, and you will flee as your ancestors did when the earthquake struck in the time of Uzziah, king of Judah. Yahweh, my power will come, bringing all of the angels with him. Okay, so he's going to bring all the angels with him. That's what this is about. He's going to bring all the angels with him. He's going to fight for Jerusalem. Okay, the so called white man messed up on this one. Okay, that's why Ronald Reagan says, what if he says something to the effect, what if there was a space threat, would not all the nations come together? Okay, what if it was a space threat? Okay, he's talking about Yahushua. They're going to try to fight Yahushua. Okay, they're going to try to fight Yahushua. Okay, one moment. The book of Isaiah, chapter 31, we'll start at verse 4. Yahweh said unto me, no matter how the shepherds yell or shout, they can't scare a lion from an animal which has been killed. In the same way, there is nothing that they can keep Yahweh Almighty from protecting Mount Zion. Just as birds hover over its nest to protect its young, so I, Yahweh Almighty, will protect Jerusalem and defend it. Okay, Yahweh Shai is gonna be coming down with some UFOs, annihilating this place and destroying it. Okay, and if you want to make it out with your life, okay, it starts with the doctrine of GMS. Like I said, they got it. Okay, you heard me say this again, and yeah, I will say this again and again. They got it. They cracked the riddle. Okay, they did it. Okay, the men of GMS did it. Okay, they did it. Yahweh Shai is the one that will repay. The book of Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 34. Yahweh remembers what their enemies have done. He will wait for the right time to punish them. Yahweh will take revenge and punish them. The time will come when they will fall. The day of their doom is near, okay? So the white man's day of doom is near, okay? The so-called white man's day of doom is near. Okay? The so-called white man's day is near, okay? He's going to be destroyed. Yahweh is the one that's going to take revenge, okay? We're not going to do nothing, okay? We have to wait for Yahweh Shai to come and bring this man down out of power, okay? He's going to destroy America in 1 hour. Let's get it. The book of Revelations, chapter 18. We'll start at verse 20. We'll start at verse 19. They threw dust on their heads. They cried and mourned, saying, how terrible, how awful for the great city. She is the city where all who have ships sailing the seas became rich on her wealth. And in 1 hour, she has lost everything. Okay, so in 1 hour, she has lost everything. She got annihilated. Okay, in 1 hour. Okay, she got annihilated. Okay, and the population and everything was made desolate. Okay, to destroy the sinner out of it. Okay, that's what this is about. Verse 20. Be glad, ye heavens, because of her destruction. Be glad, Yahweh's people, for the apostles and prophets, for Yahweh has condemned her for what she did to you. Okay, last hire, first fired. Okay, highest unemployment rate, okay? Okay, that's what this is about, okay? Always at the bottom of society, okay? Can't get ahead, okay? Yahweh Shai has revenged us. He's going to get our revenge, okay? We just need to be patient, okay? We just need to be patient. The book of Psalms. The book of Psalms 94, verse 1. Yahweh, you are a power who punish, reveal yourself, reveal your anger. You are the judge of us all. Rise and give the proud what they deserve. How much longer will the wicked be glad? How much longer, Yahweh? How much longer will criminals be proud and boast about their crimes? Okay? Okay, so Yahweh is the one that's going to do the punishing, okay? To pour out his displeasure. Okay, Yahweh is going to do it, okay? He do his son, Yahweh Shai, okay? The so-called white man is going to get eradicated. The book of Sirach, chapter 16, verse 11. And if there be one stiff neck among the people, it is a marvel if he escapes unpunished. For mercy and wrath are with him. He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure. As his mercy is great, so is his correction. So is he judges a man according to his works. The sinner shall not escape with his spoils, and the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated. Okay, so the patience of the godly will not be frustrated. The patience of the godly will not be frustrated. Okay, we just need to keep our posture and keep calling upon his divine name, okay, and to keep patience, okay. That's what this is about, okay. Don't grow impatient, okay. He that holds out to the end will be saved. The book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 26. So it is best for us to wait in patience, to wait for him to save us. And it is best to learn this patience in our youth, okay? So you have to learn to be patient on Yahweh Yahushai, okay? This man has a tab to pay, okay? This man has a tab to pay, okay, of all the wickedness that he done, okay. He haven't got away, okay. The Yahweh is going to be on this man's ass, okay. This man's ass haven't got away, okay. He's going to be getting whipped in the kingdom. Okay. The book of We'll start at verse 6. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 6. Run away from Babylonia, run for your life. Do not let yourself be killed because of Babylonia's sin. I am now taking my revenge and punishing as it deserves. Babylon was like a golden cup in the hand, making the whole world drunk. The nation drank from its wine and went out of their minds. Babylon suddenly has fallen, and it is destroyed. Mourn for her. Get medicine for its wounds, and maybe it can be healed. Foreigners living there will say, "We tried to help Babylonia, but it is too late. Let us now come. Let us now and go back home." Yahweh has punished Babylon for all his might and has destroyed it completely. Okay, that's it. It's going to be destroyed. Okay, America's going to get eradicated. Okay, America's going to be eradicated. Okay, it's nothing. It's not going to be nothing left here in America when this thing goes down. Okay. That's why you have to hope and pray that you are the elect, okay? Hope and pray that you are the elect. That Yahweh gives you your life for a prey. Okay, and I know it's tough and hard to keep going through tribulations, but it's a must. It's a requirement. You have to go through your tribulations. The book of First Peter chapter 1 verse 6. Be glad about this, even though now be necessary for you to be sad for a while because of the many kinds of trials you suffer. Okay, so you're gonna have to suffer your trials. Okay, we all are going through it. Okay, we all are catching hell. We all are catching hell. It comes with the territory. The book of First Peter chapter 5 verse 9. Be firm in your faith and resist him, because you know that other believers in all the world are going through the same kind of suffering. Okay, so we all are going through the same kind of suffering. Okay, we all are catching hell together. Okay, it comes with the territory. But he that go hold out to the end will be saved. Let's get it. The book of Matthews. The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 22. Everyone will hate you because of me, but whosoever holds out to the end will be saved. Okay, so you have to endure. The one that can endure to the end will be saved. Okay, that's the one that's going to be saved. Okay, the one that could roll with the punches, so to speak. Okay, and go through their tribulations and trials, and the one that's calling on Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's the one that's going to be able to make it out with their life when this thing goes down. Okay, that's the one. Okay, that's going to make it out with their life. Okay, The 2/3, they won't make it out with their life, okay? As this thing intensifies, okay, they're going to be destroyed, okay? The 2/3 are going to be destroyed and annihilated, okay? So-called white man, he's going to get annihilated, okay? He's going to get put straight into slavery, okay? All the other nations, they're going to get put into slavery, okay? You heard me say this once ago, once again on my various videos. That's why the scripture says when Yahweh gets here, all the world is gonna mourn. Okay, they're gonna wail. Okay, because they know the bullshit is coming to the end. Okay, Yahushua is going to be very pissed when he gets here, okay? He's going to be very angry when he gets here, okay? And he's going to put a lot of people to death, okay? A lot of people is going to get put straight to death, okay? He that don't serve Yahushua should be put to death, okay? The book of First Chronicles, Second Chronicles, Salakia. The one that don't worship Yahushua should be put to death. The book of Second Chronicles, chapter 15, verse 13. Anyone young or old, male or female, who do not worship him will be put to death. Okay, so if you don't worship Yahweh, Yahushua, you're going to get put straight to death. Okay, point blank and center. Okay, all the bullshit comes to an end. Okay, this is why you should be doing like the churches of Thessalonica. Okay, searching the scriptures every day, seeing if this is true, if it checks out, okay? That's what you should be doing, okay? Doing your research and doing your studies, okay? Like the churches of Thessalonica, the book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 11. The people there were more open-minded than the people in Thessalonica. They listened to the message with great eagerness, and every day they studied the scriptures to see what Paul said was really true. Many of them believed, and many Greek women of high social standing and many Greek men also believed. Okay, so many believed. Okay, you need to be studying this thing to see if this thing checks out. Okay, that's what you should be doing, seeing if this thing checks out, doing your research and doing your studying. Okay, the book of Acts chapter 16 verse 30. Then he led them out and asked, Sir, what must I do to be saved? They answered, believe in the Lord Yahweh, and you will be saved, you and your house, you and your family. Okay, you and your family will be saved. Okay. Let's go to the book of Timothy. One moment. Bear with me. I think it's in the book of Second Timothy. When Yahweh, when he gets here, it's going to be, you got to fasten your safety belt when he gets here. It's going to be mass death and destruction. Okay, one moment. The book of First Timothy chapter 4 verse 16. Watch yourself and watch your teachings. Keep on doing these things, because if you do, you will both save yourself and those who hear you. Okay, so if you keep doing what Yahweh Shai wants you to do, you save yourself and those that hear you. Okay, just save yourself and those that hear you. Okay, when this thing goes down, you're going to be exempt from judgment. Okay, put a mark on the men's heads. Okay, book of Ezekiel. Let's turn to the book of Ezekiel, so you don't get put to death violently. Okay, the book of Ezekiel chapter 9. The book of Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4. Go throughout the whole city of Jerusalem and put a mark on the forehead of everyone who is in distress and trouble because of all of the disgusting things being done in the city. Okay, so that's, you have to have the mark of exemption. Okay, the mark of the exemption, so you don't get put down violently. Okay, let's go to the book of Jeremiah. The book of Jeremiah chapter 39. The book of Jeremiah chapter 39 verse 16. To tell Eliam the Ethiopian that Yahweh the mighty, the power of Israel, have said, just as I said I would, I am going to bring upon this city destruction and not prosperity. And when this happens, you will be there to see it. But I, Yahweh, will protect you, and you will not be handed over to the people you are afraid of. I will keep you safe, and you will not be put to death. You will escape with your life because you have put your whole trust in me. I, Yahweh, have spoken. Okay, so you have to put your whole trust in Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. This place is going to get eradicated. This place is going to be eradicated. Okay, it's going to be totally annihilated. Okay, you have to come back into Yahweh Yahweh Shai so you can make it out with your life when this thing goes down. Okay, if you want to make it out with your life. Okay, you're gonna see this with your own eyes. Okay, and it's gonna happen very soon. Okay, it's gonna happen very rapidly. It's gonna happen very rapidly. The book of Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 14. The day of Yahweh is near, is very near, and cometh fast. That day will be a bitter for the bravest soldiers will cry out in despair. Okay, all these big tough men, okay, they're gonna fold up. Okay, in that day. Okay, they're gonna fold up. The big bravest soldiers, okay, the so-called mighty men of this society, they're gonna fold up and be destroyed. Okay, Okay, so that's what this is about. Okay, Yahweh Shai, once again, you have to wait for Yahweh Shai. He will repay. Okay, he's definitely going to take revenge on the so-called white man. He's definitely going to get his judgment. Okay, but also the two-thirds so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, Indians that cling unto this man, they're going to be destroyed as well with him. Okay, let's go to it. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 25. You will not have to worry about the suddenly disaster such as come on the wicked like a storm. Yahweh will keep you safe. He will not let you fall into a trap. Okay, so we don't have to worry about this calamity if you of the elect. Okay, and it's only a small number of the elect. It's not many of them. Okay, it's only a small number of the elect that's sanctioned out of this divine judgment. Okay, the two-thirds, they're gonna be eradicated with the so-called white man. The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 21. You can be sure that evil people will come. You can be sure that evil people will be punished, but the righteous will escape. Okay, the evil two-thirds that want to cling onto this devil. Okay, that don't want to give this devil up. They're gonna be destroyed with this man. They're gonna go down with this man's society. Okay, that's what this is all about. Okay. They're gonna go down with this man, okay? So Yahweh Shai is the one that takes vengeance. The book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 2. Yahweh tolerates no rivals. He punishes those who oppose him. In his anger, he pays them back. Yahweh does not easily become angry, but he is powerful and never lets the guilty go unpunished. So the so-called white man's not going to go unpunished what he did, okay? This devil's going down, okay? His society's going down. That's why Christ says, I see Satan fall like lightning from the sky, okay? That's why it says that in the scripture. I see Satan fall like lightning down in the sky, okay? And I'll leave you with this. The book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 19. There is no remedy for your injury, and your wounds cannot be healed. All those who hear the news of your destruction clap their hands for joy. Did anyone escape your endless cruelty? So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Almighty Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Shalom. Hopefully this lesson was edifying to you.